So first things first, I'm going to say consult an electrician or somebody who actually knows what they're doing, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So I'll be setting up a switch system to be able to run my house with a generator in case there's any power outages. I want to just be able to hook the generator up to a plug and power the whole house instead of powering individual circuits or hooking up a generator to a fridge or whatever you needed. So what I have here is a 50 amp breaker box. Pick these up at any store, Fleet Farm, Home Depot, anything like that. I think those are about 30 bucks. So a plug that's actually going to go into here. This outlet will go inside this box, and this plug will go into the generator itself. I also picked up this cable. Got it on eBay. It's about 40 bucks for this strand. It's 17 feet. So this is 4 individual 8-gauge strands inside there. So you'll need this for the 240 volt hookup from the generator. You'll also need some wiring like this. This is a 4-strand with 3 6-gauge wires in it. Alright, so here we are inside my electrical panel. So this is actually the breaker that's going out. So it's a double pole breaker, and you can see the 2 hots going out, the red and the black wires. Those are actually going out to where you saw in the garage. And this wire it's run all the way into the garage. You can see the red and the black. The white wires are going over to the neutral bus, and then the ground, the bare copper is the ground, and that's going over to the ground bus. Alright, well that's a score. Actually came with the plug that goes into it, so I'll be able to return that to the store, so that'll save me some money. Until I didn't read the box, it includes a 120 amp and 240 30 amp plug. So now you have 4 terminals, and that's where your 4 wires will go. Now I'll take the end of the plug, push the wire through, but this grommet hole is a little bit too small. It just wants to push the grommet in. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is making a couple little slits in there to open that hole up a little bit bigger. Now you can see made 4 little slits in there. Should be just big enough to slide the grommet over now. I don't want it to be too big. I still want it to be watertight. So I'll slide this back far enough. Now I'll be able to put this plug back on and make sure the grommet fits in there. Now it fits nice and snug. Alright, so here's what the back of the plug looks like. So the wiring's not really that bad. It says W and G for white and green, and then you have a X and a Y, and those will be your 2 hots. So you have your white for your neutral, G for your green or your ground, and then the X and Y will be your 2 hots. So that'll be your red and your black wire. Alright, so now that I have all the 4 wires exposed, strip back a little portion like this to expose the copper. So it'll go in like that. Tighten those down, and I'll do that for each one. I'd like to add too, because I'm actually redoing this now, that I'm going to cut this center piece, or cut the wires right to the end of this piece, and strip off enough of the black that these clamps still clamp on the outside black shielding. So these are actually a little bit shorter now, so I'll re-strip them and then put them in. Now that the wires are all stripped, Slide this back on. There's a little notch here where that goes. You can see the clamp is actually on the outside of the shielding. Slide this forward, and I'll have to get it lined up with the screw holes. Here's what the finished plug looks like. This will just plug right in to the generator. Plugs in, twists into lock, hence the name Twist Lock. So that should work pretty good. Not going to go into a whole lot of detail on this plug. This one's the one that's going to be connected to the outlet in the house. Every plug is going to be a little bit different. So for this style, it just says these 4 pieces. Connect all the wires. Close the box. So follow the instructions on your plug or have your electrician do it. Here's what the finished cord looks like. Turned out pretty good. So I think I'll make a part 2 of actually going through the process of hooking it up to the house and powering the house. This cord's about 17 feet long, so it is long enough to actually run out the back door to my garage. So not recommended to run a generator inside of a garage, but the outlet is close enough to the door. So I'll make a part 2 and then go through the process of hooking everything up.